Welcome back, dear students. So, as you see, this is lesson 4, unit 1, language in context. What we have here is a room of a person. I want you to look at this room and tell me, what can you tell about this person? This is actually Tom's room, and as you see, we have some posters of some players, tennis player, football player. He has also a trophy. He got the first place in, I guess, tennis competition or something, and this is his tennis racket. You can also see some music player here, like a music player, like an MP3 or something. He has computer, joystick. He's into video games. He has also a computer, another computer or laptop. So he loves, I guess he does his homework. Yeah, he usually does his homework on this computer. So let's move to the next slide. Here we have a footballer. This is a football player, and he is talking about his career and his lifestyle. And I want you to listen to him and answer these questions. This is true or false. Read the sentences and mention whether they are true or false after listening to Musa, the football player. Let's listen to him.
Football changed my life. It's given me everything I have. For a poor boy from Nigeria to the stadiums in Holland and Russia, I've come a long way. But a professional football player's life isn't easy. I often train for 6 to 8 hours a day, and when there are major competitions, you sometimes don't see your family for days. The other players become like a second family. We spend a lot of time together. The competition is tough. There are plenty of good football players out there, and the career of a professional football player is very short. Most professionals usually stop playing before they turn 30. But there are many benefits too. For me, the greatest thrill of all is when I play for my country. You can become a hero overnight, especially if you score a goal in a big match. Of course, I get a lot of money for playing and from advertising. I hardly ever spend any money on clothes and shoes. I get those for free from sponsors. I like to dress well, but I also give quite a lot to charity. I like being famous, but you lose your privacy. You can't go anywhere without the paparazzi following you. I hate that.
So Musa comes from poor background. What do you think? Okay. Now here we have the answers. Musa comes from a poor background. True. He spends a lot of time with his family. False. Musa is proud of playing for his country. Of course, true. He likes to wear fashionable clothes. True. He gives money to help those in need. True. Musa doesn't like the media following him. Yeah, he doesn't like the paparazzi. He said this. Okay, this is true. Now let's move to the next thing. This is pronunciation activity. Listen, notice how do and you are said together as one word, then practice. So, yeah, let's listen to this.
Do you have a cell phone?
Do you have a cell phone? It's not do you have a cell phone, it's do you have a cell phone?
Where do you live?
Where do you live? Where do you live?
How often do you get a haircut?
How often do you get a haircut? How often do you? It's not do you.
How much time do you spend on the internet?
Yeah, how much time do you spend on the internet? Okay, so now this is a conversation between Majid and Omar. In this conversation, you will find some words we use as expressions to give some meanings, like exercise freak. When you say that Ahmed is an exercise freak, it means that Ahmed exercises a lot. He loves working out. Turn off, turn the TV off, turn it on. So turn off and on. Anyway, so turn off is we use it for devices, and we use it also for people. When you say that I turned Ahmed off, it means that Ahmed now is not interested at all in this. So for example, the film turned me off about football, for example. So the film made me not interested anymore in football. Now, when you say anyway, it means that you're gonna change the topic. Like, for example, I'm going to school anyway. I'll see you tonight. So you changed the topic. You see, a phrase to introduce an explanation, like, okay, if you're going to explain something to someone, you can say, you see, for example, salad is good for health. You see, it's full of vitamins, tomatoes, cucumber, carrots, and so on. Now, here's a conversation between Majid and Omar. Let's listen to this conversation.
How often do you go to the gym? I work out every day, except weekends. I'm a bit of an exercise freak.
Exercise turns me off.
Anyway, what are you doing now?
I'm checking my email.
How much time do you spend on the internet?
A lot. I take my smartphone with me wherever I go. My friends say that my smartphone is really my best friend. You see, I can access the internet almost anywhere.
Okay, now, according to the conversation, what do you think Omar answers? I prefer to exercise my body, not my thumb. I only use my computer to send and receive email. I don't have a cell phone. I don't want people calling me all the time. Your idea, what do you think? So, what do you think? Okay, so you can write your own answer here. Okay. Now, does Omar exercise a lot? Okay, yes, he does. He works out every day except weekends. Does exercise turn Majid off? Yes, it does. Does Majid spend a lot of time on the internet? Yes, he does. Why can Majid check his email frequently? He has a smartphone. He can access the internet almost everywhere. Okay, this is the end of lesson 4, gentlemen, and see you in lesson 5, inshallah. Goodbye. Welcome back, gentlemen. How are you all? This is Mr. Mohammed Atef, and today we're going to take lesson 5 in unit 1. Let's check the lesson here together. Actually, this is page 8, and this is the 9th activity in lesson 1, in unit 1, and this is a reading lesson. Today we have the reading lesson here about cell phones. So before taking this reading text, what do you think of cell phones? Are they that important in our life? Do you usually use cell phones? So yeah, of course yes. I guess your answer is yes, because it's, you cannot actually do without cell phones. They are very important. You browse the internet, you play games, you contact others. There are many uses for the cell phones. So okay, gentlemen, so here we have the reading text. In this lesson about cell phones, obsession. Obsession is like when you're obsessed with something, when you addict something. You cannot stop this. You cannot give it up. So negative or positive? Is it negative or positive to use the cell phone? We will discover this in the reading text here. It's about the habits of teenagers and people using cell phones in America. Okay, let's read this together. I want you to listen and read at the same time, and then we are going to answer some questions about this.
Cell phone obsession, negative or positive? Yakety yak yak. All around, you hear ringtones of cell phones, and you see people who are talking on the phone in public or sending text messages. This use of cell phones may signal more than normal communication with friends and family. For some teenagers, this craze may be a sign of unhappiness and anxiety. Cell phones are definitely part of today's youth culture. 60% of US teens have cell phones, and soon over 50% of kids ages 8 to 12 will have them too. Students in grades 7 through 12 spend an average of an hour a day talking on their cell phones. That's about the same amount of time that they devote to homework. The majority of cell phone usage is for text messages, and heavy users check for replies frequently. The heaviest users check their phones approximately every 10 minutes. They often become irritated when other people don't respond to their messages quickly. Heavy reliance on a cell phone can become a problem and an obsession. According to the Los Angeles Times, a survey of 575 high school students in the United States showed that 2/3 of the students who use their cell phones more than 90 times a day do so because they are unhappy or bored. They score higher on tests that measure depression and anxiety compared to students who use their phones less. However, when they were examined, the frequent users were not found to be clinically depressed. That is, they were not actually in a state of depression that was severe enough to require medical help. The researcher who conducted the study said, "The young people may be unhappy because of a problem in their lives or anxious about their social status. They are trying to make themselves feel better by reaching out to others. Communicating via cell phone makes the addicts feel popular." For teenagers, cell phones are not just objects of communication. They are extensions of themselves. They are tools for keeping in touch. Many teenagers don't agree with the study from the United States, and they say that people who are anxious or depressed wouldn't be sending out messages or making calls. For them, a lot of cell phone use shows that a person is popular and has a lot of friends. What do you think?
Okay, so now we have some questions. Let's try to answer them. Now this is true or false. Only 1 out of every 4 young Americans owns a cell phone. Is this correct or not? American students spend a lot more time on the phone than on homework. Number 3, most of the cell phone usage is for text messages. Number 4, people who talk a lot on the phone do so because they are depressed. Number 5, some people think that a lot of cell phone use is a positive thing. Now let's check the answers. 1 false, 2 false, 3 true, 4 false, 5 true. Okay, now this is the end of today's lesson, gentlemen. So have a good day and see you in Unit 2. Goodbye.